Media scraps are kind of a dime a dozen these days in the NFL. Throughout sports media, this is how guys get their name out there. I don't think that that's what Zaire Franklin was doing, and I know that that wasn't what Pat McAfee was doing. Pat McAfee's name's already out there. Zaire Franklin leads the NFL in tackles. These guys do not need to fracas with each other in order to get their names out there. But Zaire Franklin, during his media availability this week, spoke about he and Pat needing to be on the same side and how he probably didn't handle that entire situation right. He on his podcast, Pat McAfee on his show on ESPN. So he addressed it, and I think that'll be the end of it. But what players need to know is that when they talk to the media, they're talking to the fans. That is the conduit between the player and the fan, the franchise and the fan. So when it's player talking to media, it's not these weasels who are always in the locker room and asking dopey questions. They are there as the emissary of the fan. And so what you communicate, you're communicating straight with the fan. That's what Pat McAfee does. Pat McAfee talks for the fans. Zaire Franklin can talk to the fans. I know it's a pain in the ass to talk to the media. I get it. But that's the way this business works, and it works really, really well. The NFL is a money-making monster, regardless of whether teams win or lose. So getting on the media's bad side, probably not the best business decision to make if you're Zaire Franklin, who is genuinely a good dude who's trying to get good things done in the community. There's no question about that. What he's got to start doing is winning football games. And dealing with the media gets in the way of that at some point. When you spend a bunch of time talking to the media, you're not spending a bunch of time, at least not that period of time, getting better at football, watching tape, out at practice, that kind of thing. And they try to make sure everybody has enough time to do everything necessary. But when a team's losing, fans lose patience. And when athletes talk about their disdain for the media while they're losing, fans really get rankled. They don't like it very much at all. And so I wanted to share what Zaire Franklin had to say about this because I think it finally puts kind of a nail in the coffin of the entire discussion. But I also want to tell you that what the media tries to do within the locker room is talk to the players to give you an idea of who they are. That's what we try to do as people in the media. I'm going to the locker room today. I'm going to talk to these guys. I'm trying to give you an idea of who they are and what they do and what kind of sacrifices they make in order to play every Sunday for our benefit, for our enjoyment. That's what they do. Here's Zaire Franklin.
Pat wants he wants to what's best for us. He wants us to win. He wants something to cheer about. He wants something to go on the show and scream about in a good way. And that's what I want for him. And at the end of the day, be in the locker room, me being the boots on the ground. I want to give our fans, I want to give our alumni something to be proud of and something to continue to cheer for. So there is no back and forth. There is no feud because at the end of the day, we want the same things.
But think about the ratings.
Look, playoff ratings hit the best. So as long as I get to do a playoff pod, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Thank you.
So there's Zaire Franklin talking about the dust up with Pat McAfee, how they need to be on the same page, how he knows that Pat is kind of on their side and they should be on Pat's side. And that's absolutely true. You don't need a fracas within the family, do you? It seems like everybody has learned that, but Pat McAfee's getting a little bent out of shape over the level of play for the Colts. And the Colts, they may not like it, but there's one way to prove Pat wrong, and that's on the field.